All right, good afternoon, everybody. I guess I'll squeeze this trade recap in really fast that we did earlier today. Today was a loss, and I'm going to explain why, and I'm also explain some things. After a trade, like it was a small loss, super small loss. I'll talk about here in a minute. After you have a small loss or a large loss, you kind of need to think about what could you have done better, what should you have changed, or is there anything, or was it just simply, the market didn't do what you thought it was going to do. And if you traded with me live on this trade, let me pull it up, then you'll know what I mean here in a minute. Okay, so this is what's happening now, so this isn't going to be helpful, but I want to talk about a few things. So let me pull up this screenshot at time of entry. Here it is. So at time of entry, this is what we were looking at. So I kind of have this rotation signals in this inverse head and shoulders on top of support. There is that anchored VWAP right here that I mentioned earlier in the plan of attack. 30-minute squeeze is going bullish. Rotations are going bullish. So this had us leaning to the upside. So what ended up happening is we waited for this rotation to happen, and then we got the spike through the 30-minute 21 EMA and the VWAP. Buy signals happening here. And then we waited after it happened, and we waited for this pullback to occur. So I get buy signals again. I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to take this entry based off of a push through, a quick retest, and looking to take it to the upside. So that was the reason for entry. Now, what was the position? The position was, pull this over here for you. All right, so you're going to see a few orders here. Now, the one we need to pay attention to is this one and this one. And why just these two? Simply because for one, those are the only ones I alerted. If you were with me when I was trading live, I stopped for a second. I was like, something else just got filled. Apparently, I had an order out, another put credit spread that got filled 20 minutes afterwards, right? So we got in this one, the 20 minutes afterwards, this one got filled right as I was closing this one. So I don't know if I just had a weird typo or what happened, but that's why I'm only going to talk about the one that was alerted. And here you go. You can see it's right here. Right here. That's the one we entered. Talk about stop loss and then where I stopped out. Okay, now let's talk about what happened here. All right, I showed you what I used to get into position, right? So all I'm going to do real quick is, for simplicity, mark this one out because we're not going to look at that one. Not to acknowledge it didn't happen. It's just that was an intentional trade. I want to talk about the intentional trades, and then this one mark out. And this one is just a butterfly that we just put on targeting 4,000 on the SPX a second ago. So let's focus on what is happening right now, or the trade that we're recapping. Those trades, you can probably see us, or at least this one up here, see us talk about it in my weekly prep review. So like I mentioned, we got long, right? And I said the stop was two times the credit received. So if I got in for 345 and I got out for 430, that means I had a loss of 85 bucks, which is small, but there is something I have to think about here. When I'm going to tell you why I even stopped out, because I know as we look at the market now, we're like, man, the market looks great right now. But some things happen, and I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about some things that I think I should have acknowledged in the moment. Okay, so initially, like I said, my stop was two times the credit received, meaning I got $335 of credit, and my stop loss is 335, right? And I did a delta 30, so I'll do 30 delta 25 wide spread. So alone, I already have a 70% chance of it working. But why did I close it out early instead of waiting for my two times the credit received? Which, in hindsight, I think I should have done because that was the plan. But I want to talk about. But whenever I stopped out, I have a completely solid reason why I stopped out. I'll pull it up real quick. Let's talk about it. So when I stopped out, zoom on in. In hindsight, it's always 2020. Remember that always. I'm gonna zoom on. Okay, let me fix that. was on this candle right here. This one. Now, why did I stop out here? Because there was more to it than just a quick pullback. So there was a bunch more dots, and it was all flushing red. On top of that, there was this market internals. Let's look for the day. Going on back to where we stopped out. This right here. We had a dirty little flush. When ticks started hitting well over negative 1,000, we started to dip lower. The VIX started to turn up. The advanced decline was turning down. The bonds are starting to fall. The dollar started to climb. I was like, okay, I was on the wrong side, and everything was starting to roll back over. This market's very twitchy. But ultimately, what ended up happening is it went up, or it did a flush out, just like it said, or like the market likes to do, and stopped out. So if I would have held on to my uh, 2 times credit received, would have been okay, and just would have took the stop out. But I did follow within signal, so I'm not upset that I stopped out. This could just be an outlier moment because that, like I said, that boop is all that happened. But like I said, the ticks flushed well below 1,000, and lately in this market, what we've seen lately is whenever the ticks do flush, they kind of flush for a long time down here before reverting. Oh, all in all, it's in hindsight super small loss, $85, no big deal. But I hope you found this helpful. Hopefully the plan of attack helped you. Hindsight should have held on for the 100% loss, but it is what it is. But I hope everyone has an awesome rest of their week, and I will see y'all again tomorrow. Take care.